Most welcome for this event, flag off for our gallant riders, the MXOAN in Morocco. Welcome to the program.
It's a good morning to everyone, and the gallant leaders, the MX cranes, we're glad to host you today. Thanks for coming, and thanks for the parents.
Alright, a very good evening and welcome aboard to the Podium show every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight as we preview and review whenever in the world of motorsport on the local scene, African scene, as well as on the international scene on this 4th day of November 2024. Hoping that everything has shifted your way. From the last time we were running a show, as usual, to Gamba, because in front of my room, Jito was a Katonia to Musaba to second every room. Kuwa bete bigwa na bachafu nyingo buzibuzibu beta suit musabatu temera kumpenda somoko buzibu tuliving obula obuli beta. The Podium wano ku Fufa TV ne ku 102.1 Fufa Farmer tubatuze na byonna in the world of motorsport every single Monday from 10 p.m. to of course to funyamko issue about technical but we've managed to sort it out. So we are live and kicking and surely we'll bring you up to speed with all the latest in the world of sport. Program ino so kubango jiraba onao sinziro kubango li across the entire world. Obango jiwuliriza ngokosa Lefa Media app which you can always download from the Play Store. Obamu Apple Store, you'll definitely be able to watch Fufa TV of Uganda Sport as well as listening to 102.1 Fufa Farmers under the Fufa Media Services. Nzeke Shomaliza program on this 4th day of November 2024. Glad to be joined by championship leader. Championship wale yali akulembeddeko in Lawrence Mwambazi nebatabukako kati Anthony Mugamba na inheriting lead yeyo so mukulu twegatako manya akaddo bana oyina katono nnyo focusinze nnyo ku championship ya this year kadde katono nnyo oyina naye good enough olufuna kadde twegatako then of course twegatidwako ne COUNSEL DENIS MUSEDE of course yali member mu steering committee ya Film Africa MOTOCROSS of African Nations Uganda yasobola kubanga taking a part mu yali Morocco yasobola kubanga tumalya mu kyokubiri. So last week twali wano ne George Samakula ntwogera mu nsonga za film good enough film omukulu yali ku ground agenda kuba tubuli ebyatambula bitya in regards to Uganda's performance and now best can improve because twali bakubiri ne CS Jamasa by the way ibanga ndoza mupira ibanga sekafa ya motocross pichipichize mpaka nenga ate Film Africa MOTOCROSS of African Nations yali African Cup ya motocross so yoko anti ya motocross eberawo every year next year Kenya itegeka 2025 sure tujja kubeerawo nga twadobula tujja kubeerayo then of course mu CSC Uganda take a first leg so Kenya ina kubanga itegeka the return leg ya CSC in terms of motocross. Kansabe Anthony ne mukulu Denis aberenga wabuzako then we pick it up from there. We have a lot tujja kugerako ne mukulu Chaliwo ngame ndi Chaliwo modern Sinkala from Zambia babadde ne Autoguard Engineering Rally 2024 Yagado Championship in Zambia which was won by the event was won by Mohamed Essa ne championship yawangudwa the Gomez family of course very dominant kale hata ubuza watuliza
abalaba Fufa TV na bawuliriza 12 katonyezemu Fufa Farmer mbalamusizaako nembebaze emirimu yemutuusizzaako engalo olunaku olwaleero ebbanga ndowooza libadde panvu nga tetulabagana mukulu
takumakwano nga tugenda ggulu
nga tugenda eggulu era kunyumiza ebyali
eggulu
yakola era naye nakuyashuwa
gwe abasiramu bagamba tetukyakujja kaadi kya prediction tetukyalina kyetukujja
ebeera betatambulidde bulungi yanyongera okubasaasira ate nembakwasa Mukama Katonda kubanga byonna ebibeera biganye we tubikwasa Mukama ate oba oliawo byanguwa okutereera. Mbagaliza okulaba Shenungi onyanjudde bulungi asookoddemu nyanjule
twegatiddwako National Rally Co-Driver Championship leader mukulu Anthony Mugamba
kale
ate ne producer yakiraaddeo ko wansi driver team Sebuguzi
kale
babasenga points 3
tujja kulaba
mutaga nnyo nno mugwa championship kale council pleasure we wali nnyo okufisa kadde off your business schedule ndabe diary nayo nejjudde nesobodde okufisa kadde tensoboze kubatwala n'abatulize.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would want to welcome the entire team that went to Marrakesh, Morocco, to represent Team Uganda. All of you very welcome back. Uganda earned the second position in Africa in motocross this year, which is an honorable position given the strength of the competition. I would really want to thank you for hosting us and wanting to get to know what transpired firsthand from at least the persons who experienced it firsthand. Thank you very much. I'm honored to be in this studio. It's actually my first time here. Thank you very much.
Not your last.
Not the last. Not the last.
FMU court and everything ali neddaga tumufuna mu AGM yaggwanga nnyonnyola ebyava mu alizat eri ya the ruling of court mu AGM kumpe oba ofeya
eyo ensonga ebyokulonda ensonga nokuba kuli girimu
naye nga we're going for a short commercial break. Tukomawo we council yali ku ground ajja kutuulirawo Uganda progressed mu event eyo twasobola okubeera abokubiri behind the event in South Africa. If you look at Uganda's performance Moyo event, I think we are making strides, only hoping that we can better achieve us. So good enough for the steering committee. More of that after the short commercial break. But the Queens are back in Nambole on the 15th of November 2024 to Walanako to Kulemeda Group with 10 points. South Africa Munana, Congo inanya, Sudan ina Sudan ya chivamu.
Wewe tujise South Africa.
Congo
kwa hivyo jitira wao.
Wawe tutu. Kati tujise legi ya 15. Jakuba match day 5. Mu qualifiers, mu qualification campaign. Then we took out Sanye Congo after the same international win because of the international break. So on the 15th, so mufuna tickets zamwe nalabye ale bad za with the cost ku Momo msofuna ticket ku Momo mutale be kitundu then wakati guza ku Momo ojoji guya kati out the fazete batinga for house etujja kubayo nnyo supporting a team tulina okuwagira AFCON Camp 20 is going to be in Morocco by the way 2025. Kali going for short commercial break we tukomawo kansa atubulire olutabalo lwa Film Africa Motocross of African Nations Uganda etwali abokubiri overall katukomewo. Alright, we'll be back from that short commercial break. It's the Podium to be back every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight as we preview and review whenever in the world of motorsport. On this 4th of November 2024, Anthony Mugamba, championship leader Mbako drivers, the driver wa kubiri, but trading adjustment got only 3 points. Ino callinga, Adimaveganyo, I now 180 points. Chijakuba Chiziwero, in fact, mathematically, you know, just won championship year 2020 from Mbako drivers. Nenga just mangata, couldn't be the championship, 3 points ahead of Team Sebuguzi. Then of course we got our council Dennis MUSEDE to digest a lot regarding Uganda's performance in the Film Africa Motocross of African Nations. As earlier last weekend, wali MARRAKESH in Morocco, which were finally won by South Africa. Uganda in 586 points, Uganda in 479 points. Abadja muchoko kulikaso. Omulabi wa fafative no muliza mbadde sa omusigire kifananyi on how Uganda's performance, the travel and the performance itself mwengeje mwali ku ground MARRAKESH.
Okay, thank you very much. To begin with is, I our preparation to Marrakesh. That's the most important, because it's going to be the gist, and it's also going to enable us be able to understand the challenges we went through and identify areas to improve on. We should be very mindful that government for 2 consecutive quarters has not made any release to support motocross or motorsport. That is, the federation has not been supported for 2 consecutive quarters. Those are 6 months without any financial support. You very well know that that has crippled a lot of activities. It has crippled a lot of motocross activities. It has crippled quite a number of activities in motorsport, both motor rallying and motocross. So with those challenges, MXON was not spared. MXON also suffered the rigors of lack of financing. Up till today, as we speak, no funds from government has been sent to support motorsport as a sport. So the question is, where did we get the funds?
Yeah, because our president, Mr.
Jimmy Akena,
the floor of parliament, was trying to make a case for funding and for the team to go to Morocco for the event.
Yes, he made the case, but you see, that also takes time to materialize. So this has been individual effort of parents, rider parents, and effort of the president himself, who went out of his way to support the team using also personal financing. A bit of it was also through different parents supporting their respective riders. So you realize that motocross per se is a very unique sport, because you have a rider who is usually a minor. Most of them are under 18. Then you also have the parents who accompany the riders. So support is mainly given to the riders. So ultimately, the parent has also got to look around for resources to move along with the rider, with the child. So that has been a very challenging position. It's really challenging to the extent that you find that, yes, the federation may come in to support the child, but you see, the children are always motivated when they see their parents or their guardians around. So it's a comprehensive thing. Everyone has got to move at one go. The federation will have the funds, yes, but also the parent has got to have the funds to support the child. Moving forward, given the fact that resources were not available in time, because we are trying to solicit from different persons, we had to get to Marrakesh a bit late. It's unfortunate that the bikes got there on Saturday morning at 4 a.m. Marrakesh. Remember, the bikes were dismantled, so you have got to now get the bikes together, okay, piece by piece. And race, the first practice starts at about 7 a.m. in the morning. So you have between 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. to have the bikes reassembled and ready for racing. Thank God we had a team from South Africa. The South African team came and joined us in assembling our bikes, South African and the Kenyans. It was really teamwork. Everyone was empathetic of our situation. Then you see, when you have that kind of disorder, you find the riders are also disoriented. Okay, they haven't got a chance to sit on the bikes. Okay, like you also know, what my brother also Anthony knows, that when you look at motorsport, omuvuzi nani the machine and the participant have got to rhyme together. Okay, you don't only look at the participant alone. The two have got to move hand in hand. So you find that our participants did not get ample time, prior time to engage with their machines prior to the race, like what the other teams, the benefit the other teams had. So that somehow affected our participation. Remember, the first heat is on Saturday, then 2 heats had to run on Sunday. Okay? If you look at the performances, I will take you through, you'll realize that all our riders began to perform in the second heat. Okay? The whole of Saturday was really a wasted day, because riders were still disoriented. They're trying to acquaint themselves with their machines, their bikes. So that is where we had a bit of a challenge. We had, if you can see, we have Larry Sekamwa, Ramadan Mubiru, Isaac Mitima. All these began having podium finishes, mainly in the second heat onwards. Okay, that is for 65cc. When you go down to the junior category, that is 50cc, the riders, we will look at riders like Jude Kyle Musede, did not perform so well. They kept on falling. They were not yet acquainted with the bikes. You look at Helena Bironji, all of them were affected. Idrik Musede, all of them did not perform so well in the first heat. It is also very unfortunate that all the injuries that we had, if you look at Apollo Milton Akaki, that is MX2. If you look at Jason Katek, 85cc, you look at Ali Chimera, 85cc, all those had injuries on the first heat. Okay?
Yes, but also in your submission, Anthony, what council is saying, in my view, one of its performance here is the preparation. Now, one would say this is Katinga Kenya. The event Kenya hosts here next year, 2025. We are well aware of that. Do we think we have prepared? We start to prepare if we are on the eve of the event, because what has happened to what demo and before.
Situation abamotocross balina batandika okutegeka event eno ng'etuuse. Batandika okutegeka ebintu bino emabega, naye essente nga teziriwo kuba bino ebintu bitambula na ssente. Olaba omwaka guli event eri eya last year aliwa South Africa bike zagenda mangu bazagendera na ku nnyonyi. Kati omulundi guno simanyi kansa ajja kututangaza, nalaba bazitise kutuleera. Simanyi oba zayita wansi oba zamala ne zidda ku nnyonyi ye yalwawo, oba payments z'ennyonyi zalwawo, kubanga omuntu yandagadde okumanya lwaki bikes zatuuka late. Ate nga bikes zirabika wano bazirodinga mangu okuva wano. Kati simanya awo wawe zadireyinga, mnenga wotumira buli kimu kye boogera sente zezasinga okuleeta obuzibu. Tewaliwo sente, kati buli wotabeera na sente buli kimu kidde emabega. Kiringa nga wootegeka omukolo ba service provider ngono simusasule tasobola ku providinga na bintu. Ate ogenda ne sente zo kaseera akasembayo olwedda ayinza okuba ayinako emikolo emirala gye yakutte gyakyakola kate naawe alyoka akuddire. So biseera ebisinga ebibyo era kikivaayo bulungi.
Okay, just to add on to what my colleague Anthony has said, you see, Morocco is a very unique destination. first of all, one, we have visa challenges. Okay, you very well know that visas for Morocco are not procured in Uganda. They are procured outside Uganda, not Kenya, surprisingly, because Kenya is a bus trip away. They are procured in Tanzania. So Tanzania, it has got to be by flight. That is one challenge. Two, we had issues getting clear response from Tanzania
in
regard to visas. The applications were submitted were prepared way early. About a month to the event, all the visa application forms were fully filled. It's just unfortunate that when we went to Tanzania, we got different ways on how to handle bulk applications. Okay, we were first advised to get a diplomatic note from our Foreign Affairs Ministry, which we actually did ultimately. Then two, they said, no, you abandoned that one. Okay, we shall get clearance from our Foreign Affairs to give you visas on arrival. That one did not ever. That option did not ever come to pass.
On arrival.
No, visas on arrival were granted, but through a different angle, not the angle which was pre-suggested by the embassy in Dar es Salaam. So you find that we are dealing with quite a number of things. You are dealing with visa applications, which are taking long and very uncertain, to the extent that some people who had pre-booked their tickets, okay, those who are meant to travel on the 21st, did not actually travel. They had to reissue their tickets. They had to have their tickets cancelled and reissued for another day, because the visas weren't ready by the 21st. Okay, so those are the challenges. Then challenge number two is the issue of bike transport. Transporting the bikes is a very costly process. Remember, the bikes are classified as dangerous goods. So there are additional expenses which are incurred. You also get to realize that most shippers will want full advance payment. So getting a shipper who is going to take part payment, okay, was a big challenge. So like my brother Anthony rightly said, everything moves with money. So the bit about it is that we were able to get a shipper who took part payment. He's still demanding money. He was able to ship the bikes at really a half pay. Air tickets also. I would like to thank the travel agents really for the good work they have done. They also came in and took half pay, okay, and ticketed all the riders who are traveling, save for those who had their own private arrangements. So it was a very complex process, moving without resources, okay, trying to procure service providers at the last minute to come in and trust that you'll actually pay, you know,
without offering any security. And also our dear president also coming in and saying, look, I'm not a rider, I'm a rider parent as well. He also put in resources. We also have individual rider parents who also came in to support some mechanics and say, no, I'm supporting a mechanic, okay? At least who's going to help you when you're that side. I'm also supporting part of the team. For example, we have Team Holland. Team Holland had quite a number of riders. They had Milton, they had of course Stav, they had Fortune Centamu, they had the Omar brothers, okay, and they also shipped the bikes to reduce the load, okay. So you find that this circumstance here showed us the value of teamwork, the value of friendship amongst the motocross fraternity. We are really friends. We understand each other's problems, and we came in to chip in,
Okay, that is how we are able to leap through the challenges we've
encountered.
Yes.
Okay, then Council, let's talk about let's talk about the performance. You are effectively that is financial MOTOCROSS of African Nations Kenya again okubanga hosting come 2025 ndoza tujja kufuna nnyo logistical issues Anthony. Kenya eri wano essaawa eno simbula tukwali ku boda
era nozijja naye weford owulira ku nsonga eyo yogeddwako actually nakibuuza olaba nga tuyina national team y'omupiira wano ate era nebadda simanyi national career yaffe eno wejjiramu kuba mu nsonga nga zino national team engeri ebintu bino gye bibeera n'ebya gavumenti yandibadde nga n'ensonga za national career tiimu yaffe wano bandibadde bagiwaayo akanyonyi bwetuba tunagenda e South Sudan tiimu n'abawagizi abasobodde n'abakungu bafufa nekagenda kagwa e South Sudan y'abantu ne wano twandibadde tulodinga bikes zaffe ate kati engeri gye tulina bike bandibadde batuwandooza eya basi
maybe that will come into the if you look at the National Sports Act. Yes. It was some of the things Anthony is raising because it talks about government fully supporting national teams. I think it was when it's finally rolled out because we're waiting for the secretarial instrument for the minister. We will hope that yabali effective omukulu ali mu black council MUSEDE ali asobali linga ba
naye amazima mayigi n'ebintu bya gavumenti eyina national team abadde batuwa Uganda Airlines ziwanga n'egenda
the sport have looked enough in government to have this. And the other thing is, is it only motorsport that has not received money in the last 2 quarters, like you said, or other federations, or it's us because we're trying issues, issues, IDD, maybe that, which are affecting the running of the sport. Because for us, there are certain things which are not privy to.
Yes.
Maybe you can help us clear that.
Okay, actually, I'm not very privy to that information. The information I can share with you is information which we get from the corridors. Okay?
Of course.
Corridors of yes, you walk through and probably get a word or two. What we are able to gather is that FUFA, I think you also guide me on that one, takes the lion's share
of the
budget. And other federations are really stifled. Okay? And yet, when you look at the performance of these other federations, like, for example, motorsport and motocross, I can speak on behalf of motocross because I'm in that fraternity. The performance is very, very, very visible. Okay? And if a lot more financing and resources is also channeled to other federations, not only motorsport, but other federations, okay? I think it will do Uganda good. For example, you've seen netball, okay? These ladies have really made it in Africa and they really are international. Exactly. So, same applies to motocross, okay? Being number 2 in Africa is not a very simple thing in motorsport. My brother Anthony also appreciates what motorsport is because 1, it is a very costly venture. 2, it is one where both persons have got to be, both rider and machine have got to be on dot. Okay, we have seen of recent why we've got this excellent performance. Of recent, what has given us a competitive advantage against South Africa, which has long been the champion in motorsport, specifically motocross, is that South Africans have access to new machines, new bikes. You find 1, 2 months, 3 months, these guys are changing machines. They have got access to spare parts because that is very key in motorsport. These guys have got access to very good coaches from wherever, different parts of the world. So it gives them a competitive advantage over other nations. However, when you look at Uganda's situation, with minuscule budgets, small budgets, we are able to procure new bikes. we were able to procure bike parts, okay, mainly from Nairobi, thanks to our colleague Shivam. He's a very good spare parts distributor. Even motor rallying as well? I don't know that.
People, tires.
Yes.
It's Shivam.
Shivam, exactly. He's made his name, okay, and at very good prices. It's very hard for you to beat his price anywhere. So we've been able to slowly, gradually improve on the competence of the riders, okay. With the new DVP, we also had a foreign coach coming in to impart skills to the new riders. Yes, he did. He came here for, it was a short time, I think for about a week or so. But still, we are getting there, okay? Bit by bit, we are getting there. And that's why you can see this kind of performance here.
The one we got from
Morocco.
From Morocco.
Exactly.
All right, we're going for a break. We'll come out. Council, I got to go issues about the funding and everything, but being the Dome sport here in Ghana since the change of management, the Adiwa, you know, those are somewhat because that's some of the feedback I'm getting from the viewers and listeners about our sport internally. Okubanga, we ourselves, someone has branded, we are enemies around sport within the fighting ourselves. So when you look out to look for money, lobby and everything, China took down because your house is not clean. So how do you expect us to have to reciprocate Okubanti to Ayambako in terms of what you want? Okay, we're going for a break to come out. We pick it up from there.
You are watching Fufa TV, the home of Ugandan sport.
Alright, coming back from that short commercial break, we're into our third segment. Today's show, the program, like every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight, as we prove and reviewing in the world of motorsport. Privileged to be joined by championship leader, rubbing on their shoulders, one on the air and that off air, Anthony Mugamba. Anthony, someone is asking about how best, what strategy you have for the last event in Holy Manen. Those are team plans. Team plans. No, so you can never saw why.
Those are team plans.
You can leak, you can use a bit of information.
Just come and ebimu bisigala ati naye byaffe basatu the machine, the driver and the co-driver ebyaffe abasatu tutasobola nga byaffe basatu
neffe tukula mu stage tugambe katikirala akaliwo izize tutera council DENIS for MUSEDE Uganda performance at the film Africa Motocross of African nations. But that breakers are to read them of hardships and how they managed to maneuver. And then Kaso Kambuze about the performance of Uganda, it would have been much better if we had resources and team had, because Uganda were performing much better in the second hit in comparison to the first hit, and every hit carries 20 points. But to now the champions, we have Star Roland, who managed to defend his IMX2 championship. He won it last time in South Africa as well. He has won it again. I think the team captain. Even another champion, Bachala, Birunja as well, very good performance. And then Avon Gift Guza as well, which I think was the third hit more category. How did these ones do it that others didn't manage to do? Because without underrating the performance of was it individual? Last week, I think the team selection. If that team was selected, give an example, staff, because in Africa in most category classes is seeing eitanga abantu babiri and some classes bataleta mbachi bataleta mbana nawe tubaina competitive advantage waga katugona kuleta utina competitive advantage katutwale kaso then net even that team selection.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, we had very good performers. Yes, Tavoland is one of them. He's an apex performer. He really performed to the best of his ability, and he defended his title. That does not mean there are no other performers, other good performers. Remember, we have quite a number of podium finishers. Okay, I'll begin right from 50cc. Okay, with 50cc we had one podium finisher, that is Jude Kyle Musede. He was a podium finisher. He finished third and second. Hit 3 he was a third. I mean, hit 2 he was a third, hit 3 was a second. Hit 1 he had a couple of challenges. We also had in that very category riders who performed and had generated quite a number of points. Okay, there's Idrik Musede, for example. He's a very silent rider, no one speaks about him, but he performed quite well. Okay, he in hit 3 and 2 he was the 5th performer. Okay, and he generated quite a number of points for the country. When you look at the lady junior riders, we have Helena Birungi, although that was they were just recognized. Okay, they never generated points. Okay, among the ladies. Okay, but the performance was good though. Okay, but you see, you cannot equate it to the performances of Jude Kyle and Ethan Musede. Okay, those ones were apex performers in the 50cc category. Then also we have Solomon Winnie, and Solomon Winnie also performed well in the first hit, but he had a couple of challenges in the subsequent hits. Now, when you go to 65cc, we also had podium finishers. Okay, I think we are somehow overlapping. We are overlooking these podium finishes. We have Ramadan Mubiru. The best position he got was second position, but featured in the podium I think twice. Okay, we have Isaac Mitima. Isaac Mitima was also a podium finisher in 65cc. Okay, I think he finished on the podium I think twice as well. We have Larry Sekamwa. Okay, who also performed quite well in that category, podium finishers. Then when we go to the 85cc, we also have Gift Seruguzi, who also performed quite well in that category. It's very unfortunate that in that category we had a very potential rider by the names of Jason Katek. Unfortunately, he got an injury in the first hit and did not perform so well, and actually got a DNF. He underwent surgery. I think the parents really had a rough time there, but insurance catered for that. We have Ali Chimera as well, same thing. These are riders who are meant to support Gift Semuguzi. They all had injuries in the first hit, and underwent some sort of hospitalization. When we advance to 125cc. 125cc is where we had a bit of a challenge. Our performance was not the best. Okay, in 125cc. Then when you go now to MX1 and MX2. MX2 we had Milton Akaki. A very good rider, excellent rider. Okay, elite rider, but we find that in the first hit he had an injury, which of course also sent him straight to hospital for surgery on his wrist. Okay, we would have had a competitive advantage had it not been for that injury. When we also look at Stavoland, who performed so well, he covered up really for Milton Akaki's downfall. Stavoland performed really excellently. He had position 1 in all the hits. So when you look at MX1, that's where now Fortune Centamo is, okay? He also outshone quite a number of riders. He also on the podium twice, okay? So I want us to appreciate the efforts of all the riders, because we have at least in every category, except for every category from 50cc up to MX1, okay, except for 125, we had riders on the podium, which is a very good thing. Not many countries had the same benefit. Now, when we transited to the ladies class, okay, the ladies class, it was a game of numbers now, because Zambia had one rider, Kenya had one rider, okay, the different countries had one rider. Now, for us, although our riders did not hit the podium, okay, but we had 2 riders in that category. So you remember 2 score in every category, okay. Now we had, much as we not get the apex positions, the podium positions, at least we had more points. That's where we ranked the best in Africa, because we had more numbers than our competitors. When it came to the masters and vets, there was also good performance in those classes because of the numbers. It's only the masters class where we had one rider, that's Honorable Jimmy Akena. So one of the things I personally observed, I think you raised that question, why, okay, is that the Ugandan riders need to familiarize themselves with prepped tracks, okay, deep sand tracks. Some sections of the Marrakesh track were deep sanded,
which we don't have here.
Which we don't have here. We had one in Busika, or we have one in Busika, although it went through renovation, and we're not able to practice there during the time it was undergoing renovation. We also we are used so much to the hard pack, the hard track, like you see Garuga, those who have been there. So the softer tracks have got a different way a rider has got to navigate all the corners, the stretches, the power. It's a whole combination of things that our riders are not very familiar with at that moment in time. So that's the challenge I felt we need to leap through.
So did that mean to stay before the event, we had to have a replica of a Marrakesh track, sort of, the way you can bring sand and try to redesign the track?
I agree with you. I agree with you entirely. Then another observation I made, which may be a bit technical, okay, the Marrakesh track was a reverse of the track we know. And I know many viewers are going to ask me how, and even many rider parents who are viewing us may ask me, what do you mean by that? Now, if you can recall, for the Marrakesh track, immediately after the start gate, you take a left turn. Okay? You take a left turn and it goes on left all the way. Okay? Left. I think it's the orientation of the Arabic left all the way. Okay? Now, when you look at the orientation of most of the track our riders are used to,
they are
right turns. And these are some of those small observations I noted. Okay? But our riders were not familiar with those turns. You'd find a rider who's very good at certain turns underperforms because he's used to a particular angle and a particular side he takes exactly. So those are the few observations.
Because in running, when drivers were to gamba nti before par, which normally comes as our third NRC, fourth, at most the fourth. Let's use the same places. same stages.
We do pearl from somewhere.
We have driven before, like if it's in Ginger, it's going to be in Ginger, then to get it to any one by NRCs, NRC to NRC before. So that people acclimatize themselves.
Oh yes.
Acclimatize themselves with the truck. So that for any again, literally a local has some bit of advantage, competitive advantage. But the margins can decrease. Just imagine a foreigner zone Nakuba a minute in a stage or a couple of seconds. But if I told you went through the same track, the same stages, or slightly with an advantage, or an advantage, you use the margins to even motivate you the more to kind of better your pace, because already said was 8 before. Kati, let me say like 15-10 in the previous rally. In the same stage, what do you this time around? You want to reduce some margins. That's has been the outcome of the competitors. But we've not realized that in motor rally. I don't know, motocross or it should be like it should be food for thought. Before you go out for an international event, can we have, I don't know if you have the capacity of running what you call an advanced team as a federation of wanting, like in Marrakesh, you send someone that side, now how the track is designed. Now come over, then now info, then you design kind of something to replicate or find actually, and people go through the same. So that's okay because in practice, from practice, then you're going into the competition. It affects you the way you perform.
Yeah, thank you. You've made a very good point. But we should also appreciate that all this needs financing. Yeah, it goes back to financing. You realize that even prepping a track alone, it looks very simple. Remember, there's got to be, you've got to get a ripper, you've got to get water, you've got to have something to compact a bit. Then there's a lot that goes around in adequately preparing the track. Okay. But which the South Africans actually have.
Before we played South Sudan, because the Juba International Stadium, it's an artificial turf. Okay, in football it's a bit easier. The cranes trained at MTN or Mondi, because it's an artificial turf, kind of assembly. We don't already use the what we carry. The terrain is not new.
Yeah. So I agree. It's there, but everything that happens, we are transiting to that stage. Okay, we are taking baby steps, but we shall get there. Right now, these results here clearly mean that Uganda, okay, if we have the right conditions, we shall always beat South Africa, which is the top competitor in Africa. If actually this particular race, if the riders had the bikes in time, okay, if we had slightly more practice on a prepped track, okay, for the past 1 month on a prepped track, believe you me, I'm more than certain we would have number one. Exactly. But still, we are getting there. It's a transition, really.
Okay, so you guys have you compiled your report so to be looked at the CC and the technical for the because next year we would want to really much better.
Yes, thank you. A report has been made and by the DVP, motorcycling. She has made a very good report. I think you'll access it. I can share after the program. On the event, the odds. It's a brief report but rich. I would also want to state on TV that our bikes are still that side.
And the last round is upon us.
Yes, we have the last round coming. Our bikes are still in Marrakesh. Hope that
logistical issues.
Of course, logistical issues. There will be another reason that's why they are still there. But we just hope that the state comes in to rescue the situation.
So they are held at ransom.
No, that's a very interesting term. But ideally, there are fees which need to be paid to ensure that the bikes are shipped. We hope that NCS comes in to ensure that the funds are availed to the federation, such that we have quite a number of these issues sorted.
So there's everything is still in Marrakesh, apart from the riders that went and came. Because I've spoken to many of them. I've spoken to Fortune, I've spoken to Sharifa Katete, I've spoken to very many of them. Came back, but the bikes are still in Marrakesh. Yeah. So you've notified the NCS and government there?
There's really an entire system. The entire federation system is the structure is working on that. I'm sure adequate notice has been made. The president himself had first-hand experience on the bikes being there. He's also in communication with the company which is having the logistics to ensure that the bikes are brought back to Uganda. So the information is there. At least I trust in the leadership of the federation that there will be sufficient lobbying to ensure that funds are able to be secured and those issues are resolved. Okay. Yeah.
We kind of hope for the best and have the bikes back as soon as possible around the National Motocross Championship is around the corner. Anthony, about the issue about, we've had this discussion before about competitors or liking the COUNSEL liking about having tracked the events run before from Ngama to the whole Motocross, the powerful cars. If you had a stage run as before and again, you of course you improve your time, but can it be of an advantage to foreigners or in terms of competition? Because to get the coin and we've not maybe abali technical to knew the need to do that. That is why
you see, actually when most of the countries are running event kati Kenya bakakyusa bukyusa okubanga ARC tevugibwa mu luutu yemu ne WRC naye previous kibadde bakozesa ki luutu yemu nga bagivugamu wano mu Equatorial era ffe wetwavugira WRC twasooka ne tugenda mu Equatorial at that time bali ndoza batuwadde reki once each stage eteeka lyali lyakyuse nga tekyali ya twice ate nga tokkirizibwa kuba reverse bw'oba olina wotetegereza bulungi kati ebyo birabira mu competition ng'otuuse
mu review eya
videos mwoterereza kati ekyo nakyo kyajja nekivaawo naye ekyasinganga okututwala nti ogenda n'ovuga mu luutu eno kati omugenda okuddayo mu WRC buli kimu kibeera familia luutu eno tetera kukyuka nnyo kati era embeera ndowooza yandibadde yemu naye mu motocross wekyawukanira nti kino ekisayi tekibeera kyammwe nti onaagendayo kale fine n'okugendayo oyinza okwagala ogendayo naye nebagambye logistics kati ojja tikka omwana n'abazadde bonna tebajja sobola nti abaana baffe bagendeko Morocco oba bavugireyo event yaabwe MX emu beetegereze such that wetunaddayo okuvuga kijja kwangu kati wano advantage eriwo kati gye tufunye nti event eddako omwaka ogujja eri Kenya ndowooza mu Jamhuri kubanga gye bakozesa kati ate event ejagenda okubaawo kati naffe tulina okukidesigninga ku kalenda yaffe naye simanyi kalenda eri eya CSC kubanga fiimu yegikola simanyi oba federation zaffe zirinako input ey'amaanyi nti this time CSC esooka yandibadde Kenya netugenda kubayerebera mu venue yemu netusobola okuvugirayo netwetegereza buli kimu netukomawo kati wetunaddirayo mu fiimu nga ddala efiiru tugiyina ebikyuse tebikola ki tebibeera bingi yadibadde giyokka gye tuyina nti bano batulinaanye naye otherwise zino ensi endala eziri ewalala si kyangu kati mpozi n'omwaka buli lwe yali e South Africa babaida bafe oluusi abamu bamanyi ogenda ne bavugayo 1 or 2 events e South Africa naye era nga benkuge kati ensinga South Africa ensinga aga nnyo balina ebisaawe bingi oyinza ogenda specifically ekisaawe kyemuvugiddemu nga si kye bajja ovugira mu event eri kati era kiba tekyokirwamu obeera
I was going through the supplementary exercise event and the film. You nominate 5 riders, but your best 2 muguli heat bebatwala as the best scoring your best two kuli heat specific to nominating abantu nti Anthony ne Paul the five but the best two in kati wane Kenya Morocco because of council what funding we didn't have those huge numbers no one of those Kenya will have as many every class you have
era council ejja okukituddamu mpozi etteeka eryo nga lyakyuse bukyusi mu motocross babadde nga ne scoring numbers nge batuwa kuba kati Uganda ndowooza batuwa 26 oba 27 oba ne 20 up to 30 naye ebiseera ebisinga bagamba oba the first three numbers as if I've had something of a sort nti ezibeera ziscoringa kati nga in this case mina 26 27 28 so 29 and 30 ne wakola bulungi atya actually kati simanyi what happens ekyo kansa ajja kukippinga in naye webabeera bakikoze batyo nga any of these 5 numbers scoringa the top 3 ekyo kibeera better kubanga muyinza okubanga wanebaga nti 26 27 28 is scoring 26 ayinza ofuna obuzibu kyokka ate nga 30 nakola okusinga eno ne mulosing obubonero so me I'm happy the numbers zonna ezibeera ziscoring awo kiri eri bano buli omu alina okulwana
right we go in for break when we get back with our last segment of the show tukomawo kansa agenda kutunulirako articles 9.7.5 ya FM constitution as amended mu 2013 mu November constitution ya FM ba kumujibu atako
beti tojiwadde
yeah amendment 2013
beti tuli wajigabanga
wale katukomewo
You are watching Fufa TV, the home of Ugandan sport.
We'll be back from that short commercial break. It's a podium to be like every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight as we preview and review all the latest in the world of motorsport. Thanks for your feedback on 0703810371. Ninakuwa msoma kansa werenga responding to good enough to me now, so we can bombard him with any question as long as to sigala confines is a sport. You will definitely respond in the last segment of today's show. Na championship leader oranga meeting tanduko kwa addressing into NRC co-driver championship leader Anthony Mugambo
bakola do bintu byana
sinafuna si obaka wena homuna wali mulwale Masaka mwava mu gearbox oya sa ku hotel yawo awali pa famina ngamba omukutu muiseko ngimoka bagitika buno baka bumumpere ne ali muna ale nanga ne
wali osigadde Masaka
Guy, Council, your conclusions in regards to the film Africa, because the many more are to come in the future. Kenya is upon us next year. What do you think we can do right so that we can have a match and we can also become African champions as we did it in 2022 when we hosted it here? Because in 2022 we had an African champion in Gift Sabuguza as well. And we have a star, we also look the MX2 defenders, which he had previously won in South Africa.
Okay, for us to effectively perform quite well in the subsequent events, similar events of that scale, one is early preparation. We are quite unfortunate as a country that some of the countries we have to participate in require a visa. And I'll take you back to the South African experience. The Kenyans had a visa-free entry into South Africa. The Zambians, being part of SADC, okay, also had a similar benefit, visa on arrival. So it was only Uganda which had visa challenges for South Africa. When you also look at Morocco, for example, we also had the same challenge. And also the cost of travel and other logistics were quite high. So what does that mean? It therefore means that we need to adequately prepare early in time, okay, to ensure that we are not bombarded by these kind of situations. Then also we need to strengthen as a federation our marketing division, so that this applies actually to both motor rallying and motorsport, motocross. We need to motor rallying and motorcycling. We need to strengthen our marketing division such that we are able to secure sponsors who can come in at our own rescue at appropriate times when we need them. Then the other thing is an internal arrangement within the federation. We need to pre-qualify service providers, because being part of the steering committee, one of the things, one of the challenges we met as a team is that you meet a service provider, he or she will not trust that you'll make the payment. You'd want to give you the service, but you don't have that relationship, okay? For him to accord you credit facilities. So we need to build that as a federation. We need to ensure that we have pre-qualified service providers who can render service at any time T when we need the service. That's in respect to preparations for travel. Then when it comes to rider preparation, we need to have experienced trainers coming in to train our trainers, just like what happened. We need to have experienced trainers also to train the riders, because what I noticed about the South African team, yes, much as we got so close to them this time around, they had an edge over us in their riding skill. When the way they move on the corners, the way they shoot the corners, they were really good. Okay, so I think we need to also advance our skills to that level. We are not far away from there, but we just need to add, fine-tune our skills. Then the other one is I would also want to encourage parents who have resources out there, okay, to invest in motorsport. Come into the sport, okay. It's a very interesting sport. It mans up a child. I've seen some children of 9 years of age, okay, learning how to drive vehicles within motocross. We have motorcycling. We have children, 8 years, 9 years, who can gamble driving. At least you can do about 300, 400 meters. What does that mean? It's manning up a child. So when you come in, you invest in the sport, we shall expect new bikes coming in. We expect that investment moves along with having new equipment, so we can have competitive advantage against other countries.
Okay, good enough for going to report more video wabaddeyo, and we hope for better, because the Rwanda are the same. Okutambula kulaba okudda ku nyonyi. Literally translated as, how do you translate it in English? Okutambula kulaba.
Ante Muganda agamba kwati.
Okay. Council ali wano tubulidde yabadde Marrakesh. Council, thanks for that, and I hope we picked a lot regarding that. Then at the same time, is a member on the Legal and Disciplinary Committee. I don't know which position do you hold on the Legal and Disciplinary?
I am a member, really.
Just a member.
I'm a member of the committee. We have a fully fledged chairperson. Yeah.
That is Mr.
That is, I'll get you the name later.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Producer, somewhat displaying ku Article 9.7.5 ati onajja tuyisizaamu kolen kansa atugaziirizeemuko mu dakiika ze tusigaze entono ndoza 25 towards the end of the show. Essence lwaki kansa twagala kinyonyola ensonga eyo because abantu ndowooza within the sporting fraternity tubatuma bingi as a disciplinary committee ate ndowooza
article 9.7.5 eyogera ku legal and disciplinary commission. A ye composition. The legal and disciplinary commission shall consist of 5 members appointed by the executive committee, 3 of whom must have a legal qualification and 2 others from the motorsport fraternity. Akakiiko kaliko abantu 5. Abantu 3 balina okuba nga balina nga bannamateeka. 2 bo nga bava mu motorsport fraternity ne bataba bannamateeka naye nga bamanyi ebyomuzannyo n'amateeka gaabyo. Olwo lwe Luganda. Kati kansa ajja kutuwa ne bamemba kansa ajja kubatuwa. Kati kansome B yako kansome 2 ne 3 then asooka nnyonnyola ebyo. The members must meet criteria as laid down in Article 7.2.3. Accept 7.2.3(9). 3. They shall elect a chairman from amongst their number.
bajja
kulonda mukyeka ne chairman ebyo council agenda kati kubitubuulira.
Okay, Chair, we've got a council. It says appointed by the executive, 3 of which having legal background, legal qualification, and 2 others from the motorsport fraternity. So let's hope let's actually want to the legal and disciplinary committee meets Article 9.7.5 Roman numeral 1 in regards to that.
Yeah, true. That's very true. We have got 5 members of the LDC, Legal and Disciplinary Committee, or Commission. We have our chairperson, Mr. Manzi. He's a very experienced lawyer as well. We have got Babu Sali. I know some of you are more familiar with him. Myself, and at least 2 other members who are not from the legal fraternity. So we meet that criteria. Then 2, we, like you've seen, the provisions provide for for us to elect a chairperson from a Mangawan number, which we actually did. So it's a fully fledged commission, and I would always encourage members from the fraternity to make very good use of this commission. Exactly. Where there are disputes, please, this is
okay. Article 7.2.3 9 egamba qualification of members okubeera ku executive committee yeyo eyogera ku must be a member of the General Assembly. Kati eno article noba toli member wa General Assembly so okubeera ku legal and disciplinary committee yeyo kibaga the members must accept 7.2.3 9. Okay, shall elect a member from amongst themselves. Okay, Councillor Tugambye, Mr. Maz is the chairman of the Legal and Disciplinary Committee. Producer tugenda ku functions kwani bade composition
functions ye B. 1. Take counsel, give advice and adopt a position on all cases. Disputes or inquiries submitted to it by the executive
committee. Yeah, mu Luganda kiri nti kuwa magezi advice.
Counsel okuwabula ndowooza ino okuwabula ina okusala kubanda ba opposition on all cases ina okunyonyola ku mbeera eziriwo ezirimu okwemulugunya ebiweerezeddwa executive committee kati kansa ajja kutunyonyola abalala tebatwalayo.
In that regard, is it only The executive committee, maybe...
Actually, when you scroll down, you will get to see the other aspect as well. Maybe we can have it scrolled down.
Okay. Then, party yokubiri?
Follow the development of the constitution, regulations governing federation, and propose to the executive committee any amendment which it may deem necessary. 3. Study the constitutions and regulations of motor clubs as the case may be, and recommend that the executive committee of the federation intervene to bring about any desired amendments.
Yeah,
kasajja kutumya anti balina kigamba balina okusoma constitution n'amateeka ga clubs zino ezikola federation, as the case may be, ne basobola n'okuwabula olukiiko luli olufuzi olwa federation executive.
Council, in regards to this, do you, as a commission, do you look at, are you in constitution of all the 16 clubs of FMU? Do you have you made any?
Yeah, actually, council ngatana chipping. In which one do you with the tambula emisana ekiva ewa vice president wa federation nga kiraga clubs ebintu byezino ku meeting ebimu biyina ebimu tebiyina naye waliwo part we nalabye nga abamu constitution abamu tebayina abamu teziri registered kati kansa agenda kutunyonyola mu aspect ye kubanga kati
like you've seen, the functions of the legal and disciplinary committee are very diverse, and they are very central to the federation activities. You're beginning to realize it. One, it is advice, okay, on all cases, disputes, inquiries submitted to it by the executive committee. As you scroll down, I can preempt the discussion as well. Even individuals who have any issues can also come through.
Yeah. But this has got to last part, the other functions as per that article.
Yes. I'll also expand on it when I get there. You see, we have also got to study constitutions, regulations, contracts, okay, of the federation. All these things have got to be looked at that level. But the challenge we have today is you have some clubs, when you make a request for those documents with the general secretary, sometimes you don't get adequate response. Sometimes when you contact the clubs themselves, you do not get adequate response on the required documentation you need to review. But we are really, we are moving steps. Okay, previously some of these provisions were directly flouted. Ever since the federation began to get government support, money is now involved. Okay, so now we have got to be as much compliant as possible, because now people are now opening the doors of court. Okay, so it is very important for this office to be fully functional, and that is why we are there. We are giving a lot of time to the federation activities. We have reviewed quite a number of documents. Work is still in progress. I still feel we are understaffed because we do not, all of us in the LDC have other daytime jobs. Okay, so we are a bit committed, and sometimes we are clogged. We have made a proposal to management to have ourselves have a legal officer who is fully paid. Okay, that proposal is out there. It was submitted during Mr. Dipu's time. I know the new leadership will take it on. So we need to have a legal officer who is standby, and we as LDC come in to guide the legal officer on what should be done. And the legal officer also feeds us a lot of information on what has been whatever he has reviewed and shares with us. Then we see how best we can have the office fully operational. So it is one thing that that the office is meant for, to review all these documents, contracts. Okay, we recently reviewed the contract between the FMU and Uganda Airlines. That was done. We are only now left to look at contracts of the sponsors. Okay, for some reason that has been a bit challenging for us to lay our hands on contracts between FMU and the sponsors. Although the president has been very firm on that, he says no, you people, the LDC has got to have access to these documents and we've got to review them. So we're in the process of seeing how best we can first of all lay our hands on some of these documents. Okay, then two, have adequate review. Okay.
Does it mean that was it was a lapse from previous that the federation entered into contract with other sponsors and service providers without the notice of the LDC?
You see, I may not give adequate information on what happened in the previous regimes because personally, these are issues where I was not personally involved. But there is need for continuous review of these documents. And that is why the office is there. Okay, we need to keep reviewing and
in the gray areas.
But let me ask Council. I know there is somewhere you have said we need a full-time legal officer. Now, doesn't that bring about an amendment
to the constitution?
The constitution, because fine if it is presented to management. I feel, I don't know, the management still will have no authority to do this because it is not part of the constitution. Doesn't it now need to go back to the General Assembly?
That's a very good question. Let's be mindful that the constitution we are having is undergoing what they call an amendment. Okay? These are some of the areas we really feel need to be looked into in the amendment. But again, my interpretation of the Constitution, okay, is that the General Assembly, being the supreme organ of the Federation, okay, has got to give life to the Federation where there is no life. Okay, and no one can stand in, okay, against a situation where the General Assembly passes a legitimate resolution which tries to resolve a legitimate concern. Okay, so my humble view is that it will not offend any law. Okay, you see what we are having today is everyone, whenever there's anything, everyone looks at the constitutional document letter by letter, letter by letter. But in the general legal principles, okay, there are other considerations that come in. I'll give you an example. In the main law, the main constitution of Uganda, there is what they call the office of, say, the Attorney General, or office of the Speaker of Parliament. Okay? But when you go to the office of the Speaker of Parliament, you'll find the secretary, you'll find the cleaner, you'll find the driver. But the constitution says, no, there shall be a speaker. The other ones will say, but who brings you here? You see, the law gives a structure of how things should be done.
Okay.
You get where I'm coming from? Now, the rest of the other day-to-day runnings, okay, of the entity, okay, can be fitted within that. Exactly.
Then you see, this is what you're saying. It should, in a sense, it shouldn't be documented. Because within the constitution of FMU, there's where it says the federation can employ other support staff, and the secretariat, it can have a secretariat to handle some of the other things.
Very true. So, and that's where it fits. Okay, and again, we should also be cautious about legislating everything. It is better we give a very good constitution is one which can live many years after it was promulgated. Okay, that's a very good constitution. Now, what does that mean? It means that it should give a fair structure of what things should be. Okay, and after setting up the structure, anything that is legally acceptable can still fit within that structure. So that is the kind of situation we need to work on as we are pursuing the amendment of the Constitution.
Okay, time is fast spent. We have around 1 or 2 minutes today. Producer, the last part of the functions, that is Article 9.7.5 of the FMU Constitution as amended in 2013, the functions of the Legal and Disciplinary Committee, where it's the last warrior government receive disciplinary complaints and cases directly. Yes, like you said, anyone can go to the disciplinary committee. Then it says each of the Legal and Disciplinary Committee shall submit a report to the General Assembly regarding its activities. Yeah, I think you guys have been doing that. So because in that activity, the report you submit, it helps management. Okubanti ba formulating a decision, ba guidance, kind of giving guidance. Now, there's where one of the issues as we part, where issue at the you guys at the Legal and Disciplinary Committee you recommend to the executive, to EXCOM, about a disciplinary action. Case in point, you can either reprimand or can recommend suspension or expulsion, depending. Now, I think in the amendments, I don't know if you put it, but for us, when the constitutional making review and process was opened, one of the things we talked about, more without preempting the process, the Legal and Disciplinary Committee should be able to bite. You know, according to this document, the function, you guys can't bite because you recommended to the Muslim executive, which put it to a vote. Now, can you vote?
And actually, another question will come in where the executive has faulted. What happens? Because now I can bring in a dispute between me and the executive to the legal. But now when the legal goes through again, it has to report the other side. So it becomes a big challenge. Actually, Chamber General Council in this aspect. Now, like in motor rallying, we have many sporting disputes that have not been cleared, and they keep on coming year after year. Now, like we are supposed to have a court of appeal, a functional court of appeal, it has not been there functional. So where do these competitors now run? Because this is not there now. Do such things come to Legal and Disciplinary? I don't know, because they are still disputes.
Yeah, because the National Court,
somebody is not satisfied, the other court is not there.
According to that constitution, it has 30 days to dispose of an appeal from the time it has been filed. I had Jumal Manye, the last AGM, say his appeal of 2019 in Catholic was disposed of after 4 years. Does that even
but no, they are still not even because we don't have a champion of 2020
that decision.
Yes. Okay, actually these are very serious challenges, and you see that is why right now it's very pertinent for us to look at the constitutional review process. There are layers of dispute resolution which needs to be looked at. What we are looking at in today's current dispensation of the law here is that these are just opinions. Okay? And you see, when you receive, for example, that's why you see the usual referrals from the executive committee, EXCOM. So they come in as referrals, then you send back an opinion. But there's got to be a fully fledged structure, and these are the structures. One, we should have a complete arbitration team, mediation and arbitration. These are less confrontational. Okay, that should also be there in the structure. Two, if parties do not agree to an arbitration, the peaceful resolution, they can be forwarded still within the same facility still within the same LDC, but now to a fully fledged hearing, and the decision is passed. Now, then what happens if a decision has been passed and the person is dissatisfied? There's got to be a fully fledged court of appeal. Okay? But you see, today when you look at the court of appeal, you find that you do not have so much of the legal minds as provided for in the constitution. And it is very important to have at least one or two persons within the court of appeal to have at least a legal mind so that it can be.
And then, before us, because our time is fast spent.
Okay, thank you.
On the Legal and Disciplinary Committee has 5 members.
Yes.
So if I'm to appeal the decision of the Legal and Disciplinary Committee, it has to be before a panel of 7 people. But in what we have, you are appealing before 3 people. I mean, it's again because this number has to outweigh. It has to outweigh the number previously where your case was had.
Thank you.
Either you reduce the number of people at the Legal and Disciplinary Committee to make it 3, and then the Court of Appeal you make it 5. Or if you're still to have the 5 people at the Court of at the Legal and Disciplinary, that means you have to increase the number of the cases, of the number of people at the Court of Appeal. Again, even the issue of numbers comes in there. So no wonder the constitutional review is it's only one of the remedies.
Yeah, actually, you have rightly stated. You have really understood the structure so well. And in any case, again, for the legal and disciplinary, okay, why would you also have 5 people to handle a dispute? Okay. To ensure efficient dispute resolution, you need to have, since there are 5 members, okay, 3 of whom have legal minds. Make sure it is 1 lawyer per dispute. Maybe you can have support staff. The other 2 can fall in any. But you have each dispute having a single lawyer handling it. Then you also have to have mediation. Okay. The other alternative would be you have those other 2 handling mediations. Okay. Because there are also very good skill sets which are in possession of the day-to-day persons who are not lawyers in terms of dispute resolution. And it has been proved, and we have also seen it. The style of lawyers is always confrontational. Then you'll find himself can be very good at putting people together and having a dispute. Exactly. So if it provides for that, those 2 can handle the mediation and arbitration. Of course, with some small skill training and all that. Then these ones handle the main dispute, the full hearing, in case they have not been able to resolve their matter at mediation or arbitration. It comes now down to full hearing. Yeah.
Okay, good enough. Even if you read the National Sports Act as amended, it talks about the National Court of Arbitration of Sports, what you have at the national level, and it says you have to have, every federation will send people onto that arbitration committee, but it says you're bound by the decision of the National Court of Arbitration. In other words, whatever comes, the Shiva arbitration, a National Council of Sports court, that is matter in civil court. You can't take that matter to it. And it's one of the issues we've been having. More sport. Can we have matters, sporting matters, go to civil courts? Like one of the issues that councils were raising. Taking ground for the appeal in FMU situations. Anthony, any parting shots to the approval? Some of our was the constitutional amendment.
Now I was through my club.
Okay.
Byatuuka nkimanyi byatu ekisembayo balinzi oyima
bani
abawagizi
abawagizi jeri bane bayoga abaffe ne nasa akugambye
ngenda kwerumira
nasa Mutebi agambye champion wa 2010 agambye nti Anthony tell us if it's time to agambye persuade Yasin constitutional to appear, but remember he work for you to your detriment.
No, but we can
alofuna abachuba
nsonga tujazeekolera
towenya abachuba naffe wetu
nsonga zakwekolerako.
Council, your parting shots.
Wrapping up.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. really, I would like to really thank you so much for giving us your time for viewing this show. I think let us collectively build sports in this country. Sports has been a very big center for tourism. For example, he has talked of the Hoima Rally. I'm now contemplating on how I can how I can step into Hoima. Two, we've also seen people flying in to the country to have a feel of a couple of sporting events. Pearl of Africa Rally, for example, we've got quite a number of foreigners who come in specifically for that rally. So you find that it's boosting tourism and all the advantages that that follow through. Then again, in terms of employment, though right now it is not very significant, but we are getting there.
Yeah.
For our riders, our sportsmen, the sports really provides employment for them. I know soccer has begun experiencing the benefits of sports because I'm seeing some people live fully, their lives fully on soccer. So I know it will also benefit other sporting disciplines. So, ladies and gentlemen, I really once again thank you so much for viewing and.
Okay, Council, thank you for your time, for your time. With this your tight schedule, this platform is always open. We're always on every month. His panel is on to this show. Okay. But when it comes to now, since we are into we're into the constitutional review process and the minister is there to come up with a structural instrument, kindly get back here once that process is done so that you expound more on probably what we'll have as a constitution and how best we can better the sport in terms of the legal framework. That's all we've had. We'll get back next Monday and I'll be now in the world of motorsport.
You are watching Fufa TV, the home of Ugandan sport.